seemed not somebody
Everywhere.
that's 62 and needs it for a baby shower or a bridal shower. So I think that needs.
I think that needs to be clarified, because yes, you could have people 62 and older from all over the county coming in if you had a free building.
Well, I would say any of it really should just be now then residents, all of these should have something to do with being from or in now then.
Yeah, if you want to say now then residents that are senior citizens or having funerals.
There's a resident, non-resident, sure.
Right, but if there's no rental charge, it should be people that live here or are using it for now then purposes that are not being charged. Otherwise, then yes, you would charge the $150 non-resident.
Yeah,
Mr.
you
Chair,
could have wedding showers, and it could be, if everybody knew there was a free facility,
Can you have
most people know somebody's 62.
But that's not saying a now then citizen couldn't have their group come in if they're from somewhere else. They
Good,
could
but
have.
at least it's now then citizens.
Yes, it is.
Right.
If you take a look at our park
Yeah.
usage, it's
Yeah.
a lot of now then citizens that are using our park, so.
Or are we limiting it then to the governmental groups that have something to do with now then? Or would it be like a
Governmental
watershed
groups,
district or something like that?
Typically, that's the county or somebody else coming out here, but governmental groups can find a lot better places than this to meet.
Or no, there are Republican parties meet here.
Yeah, but those aren't governmental groups, those are political
There are
parties.
political parties meet here. Yeah, I think both parties has met here. Or two of them,
Yeah, I mean, and again, if they're meeting for governmental activities, like a caucus or something, I don't know how that qualifies. But I do think it's a good point, if we don't limit it to now then residents that get the free access.
Commissioner Pearl.
To clarify, I guess my suggestion would be to make bullet point A say, resident 61 and age 61 and younger. And then under F, instead of senior citizens, I guess it would say, senior residents 62, city residents 62 and older to be free.
What about funerals?
Sorry?
What about funerals?
You mean,
The next one is funerals. It's free for funerals, does that also need to be a resident?
Now then residents again.
well, because what if a resident dies, but their family wants to hold the funeral,
Yeah.
it's a funeral, I guess, I don't know. I have no bipartisan on that at all.
I'm just saying that, again, do you want the free access to funeral luncheons or whatever to be residents or not?
You could really just put under A, resident $50 unless being used for a funeral, or by a member of the Lions or Heritage. I would just like to also add that, again, $50, and there's a lot other places that people could go. Probably don't need to spend a ton of time.
how about if we say, governmental groups and funerals, and then after that, just put, now then, senior citizens, Lions Committee, or Heritage Committee? I don't know.
Yeah, non-profit groups of the city and all that. I don't know.
Yeah, you could say senior citizens and nonprofit groups, or whatever,
The city, of the city.
associated with
Of the
the
city.
city.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so on page 6, there's a couple other questions. Item B at the top. So that other shelter, Woodland, Eagle, Greenberg, Meadowlands shelters, there was a question whether those should be reduced in cost, for the first being free and then non-residents being 25. versus what you see there. I'm not familiar enough with those shelters in the park to know. That was something that Corey Leducer had suggested. And I don't know, again, if that came from the council or if that was something she was thinking as
Chairman?
staff.
Commissioner Pearl.
I guess I have a question. Do we know if the Parks and Rec has had a chance to look at this too, for the shelter prices and such?
Well, they've been established. I think what Ms. Leducer was thinking is those don't get used or rented very often. So there wasn't a lot of demand for those anyway.
May I direct the question to Ms. Rainville?
Chair Anderson, Commissioner Farrell, in the last, at least in the, less than the last year, the park committee has looked at all of the fees as they redid the rental agreement for them. So, and they did not have any change at that time.
I was actually part of that. I do remember.
But we, I mean, they've been talking about for
Yeah.
2 years, and now just recently revamped the rental agreement for the parks.
Okay. And they didn't change any of the prices?
They wouldn't have had the authority to, that would have had to go back to the council.
Yes.
But there were no recommendations.
That's what I was looking for, yes. Okay.
So on those rentals, there's no fee for residents on those shelters. But there is a requirement if you want to reserve it, you put down a damage deposit.
That's the way that it's drafted, correct? Want to just leave them status quo since there was no recommendation from park committee? Or what do we feel here?
I think if they're doing their jobs, they should be bringing recommendations to us.
Is it, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Yes. Lori, do you know what kind of reservations we're getting for those types of shelters?
Nobody reserves them, they just go first come, first serve, and the only ones that get reserved are the Twin Lakes Beach Shelter and, City Hall, and then Memorial. The other ones, we don't get anybody reserving them.
Three and 25 or leave them as is? 3 and 25.
I'd say just leave it as is and let the park and rec in another year look at it, and if they want to
I hear one leave as is, one 3 and 25.
leave it as
An
is.
auctioneer here.
I would leave it as it is.
Okay.
I mean, if you,
2 as is. Barry, Skip?
What's this? It's saying as is. And he said as is. What do you say, John?
3 and 25. As is, got it. All right,
Okay.
next.
Okay.
Page 8, the,
One more question, number 26, the Twin Lakes Park concession stand? Would that be a resident and non-resident charge or not?
keep them Elk River people out.
Just a question.
No, I'm serious, I'm serious.
We have resident and non-resident and everything else.
Right.
And I have a question as far as the concession stand fee. You have to go through the county and have a permit, don't you?
What's
It's not
that?
a county park anymore.
City.
No, but we have to have it for anything else.
No,
Yeah, Mary?
Sherry, to your question, the only time you have to go to the county is if you are producing food. If they're just selling candy and ice cream, you don't need a permit for that.
If they had hot dogs or anything
If
like,
they were making hot dogs and selling that, yes, they would have to get that. And I believe the permit or the reservation form addresses that. Am I correct in that one?
I don't know.
I believe it does.
I thought it.
Does reference it regarding a license, food vending license, yes.
We haven't had anyone ask for that. I don't know.
It hasn't been rented and I can't tell that last time.
so right now it's resident, non-resident? If it is, it should say that.
Yeah,
You want-
and I guess the other reason, yes, it does have a higher deposit on it as well, too, I guess, so.
Yeah, because you can mess that building up.
$100 worth.
Well, if they don't clean up after themselves, you get.
No,
put the
right,
time in there,
right.
so.
So do you want the residents to get a discount?
I think we should add a non-resident fee.
I hear one add non-resident fee.
It's kind of our right.
Add it and make it a $50 one?
Yeah.
I hear two,
three.
three,
I'd agree
four,
with that
five.
too.
All right,
There you go.
We're making money.
Or me.
Same deposit amount?
25 for the resident and, oh, for
That it?
deposit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Page 8 there, Mr. Chair. Now with in July, the Sunday off sale starting up. I know some cities are taking advantage of that because it's expanding the licensing. And right now, there's a recommendation here just to include it as part of the off sale. Do you want an additional fee for adding Sunday, or just keep it as all part of the package deal? They have to tell us they want to do it, it's not automatic, so.
Can I actually ask a question in regards to that? Is this for commercial businesses or are you talking,
This is for the liquor store.
okay, this would be for any kind of, okay.
Liquor sales,
Yes, gotcha.
yeah.
And I didn't realize, I don't think anybody's ever taken advantage of that $100 discount for adopting the programs listed in that statute. I've never seen that, because it seems like all of our applications are the full 240s.
Paperwork.
Some liquor stores, they're taking the option not to use the Sunday because it's not worth it. It's gonna cost them more than what they're gonna bring in profits. I read that in the paper
But
somewhere.
there are some that, yeah,
And
Yeah, that
choose
might-
to stay closed.
Yep, because I gotta get a person to stand there.
And salaries,
Overtime pay.
yeah, it's overtime pay, yes.
So do you want to have that Sunday included in our, or do you want a fee for Sunday?
I'd say included. Seems like.
Because right now,
additional fees.
if there's an application for people that want a later closing time on the on sales, there's an extra charge. We've always chosen not to do it because we don't want people closing down around us and all coming to now then to close out the night.
Right.
But there's a precedence there for a separate fee if you're getting an additional benefit. So. Okay, here, one keep it as is, or all under one? Additional fee for Sunday, or lump it in with the 240?
I don't really care.
They lump it in. Yeah.
I hear two lump it ins.
Roll it in.
Walter?
I'll lump it.
Yeah,
Roll it.
lump it in.
Okay.
Dale, Skip?
Sure.
We're talking about one business
Same
right
lump.
now, right?
Two.
Well, it,
Off sale, it's only one, right?
off sale, but we'll probably likely have another one soon, so.
Where?
That's on your next agenda item.
That's
No,
on
I-
a need-to-know basis.
Can't even be funny around here anymore.
All right,
Yes, I know.
All right,
so
bump
Mr.
it
Chair,
in.
it sounds like it's gonna just be lumped in. Any other question marks in there that we should be aware of, Ms. Stockman?
No, you hit them all. Thank you.
Beautiful.
So it's all covered?
Yep, need a motion.
Okay, do we have a motion to send this to the
Did
city
we
council?
close the hearing?
Oh, close, okay, I'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion to anybody to hear that, we recommend this to the city with the changes? Commissioner Pearl?
Yes, Chairman. I make a motion to recommend the changes that we've made to the ordinance fees as we have discussed to city council.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, Commissioner Moen, seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that's the last thing on the agenda. Does anybody want to make the next motion?
Are we going
Or
to
this-
discuss?
okay,
Upcoming
let's
agenda items.
Discuss the agenda items next. We need that. Minor stop.
You gotta start next minute and a half here.
Oh, I got 1 minute, okay, 30 seconds for each. Greenwald Properties on 181st Avenue. They were out of town, they were gonna be out of town June 23rd. They could have been ready for this meeting with their concept plan, but they decided to wait till June. So they're debating between about a 3 or 4 lot subdivision and then going up to, 6 or 8. And then,
They still thinking about a U-shaped road
possibly,
coming off of 181st or
I
Burns
think,
Parkway?
well, I think it's gonna be more that they'd come off of 181st and connect with that road to the north, and then have a future road to the east, cause that 40 is available, and I think her family owns the adjacent 40, so that they would plan on buying the adjacent 40, so we're
Jason, to the west or to the east?
to the east. So we're kind of planning an 80 altogether, concept planning it.
You say the road to the north, you talking Burns Parkway or Wild Run East 185th?
Yeah, through that subdivision,
The 185th.
yeah. What's the subdivision adjacent to, well, if you go the 40 over to the east and then north of that, there's an existing dead-end road. And I can't think of the subdivision name right now.
Wild Run East,
Oh, yeah.
and that's 185th.
Yeah, and we met with Shane, but one of the issues is the cost to traverse that wetland there is gonna be expensive, so they're debating what to do. So that'll all
We'll
come
likely see that in June.
likely in June, yes. And then we had a request by Mr. Rademacher, he wants to purchase 10 acres of Kent Raceler's land down on 181st and and put in another Bill's down there. So he's asking for the rezoning and the comp plan amendments to allow that. So they have a tentative purchase agreement contingent upon rezoning and comp plan amendment for 10 acres of Rademacher's got approximately 120 acres down there
Raisler.
that sort of surrounds, what is it? Property owner that lives,
Oh,
starts with an S, doesn't it?
Like the northwest corner, is that what it is, or?
yeah.
Yeah.
Northwest corner of the four-way stop.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So, well, that'll be coming forward. So we'll get the public hearings on the agenda next time.
Right now, the comp plan requires all commercial development to be contiguous to existing commercial development. So that, reason the comp plan amendment is we don't currently allow separate parcels like that to be commercially developed, so.
You could read up on spot zoning before next month.
And again, that's another
League
one
of
of those you wanna
Minnesota Cities.
consider in spot zoning. Might be a few people that would like that.
Right.
So, That's
Then
why,
you
that's
have
why you have a
some.
comp plan, that's one of the things that Commissioner Sedla had said before, that everything refers back to your comp plan, that's your guiding principle for the other decisions you make, so. You gotta make sure that you value that comp plan changes, because that's gonna direct our road.
Okay,
Right on.
if that's all, we need a motion to adjourn then.
That can't be that hard.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Commissioner Pearl,
I'll second that.
Commissioner Mullen. So
What do I have to
officially
jump
it's
at once?
closed. Don't forget to turn your mics off.
Do you have to take a vote?
Nope. Motion and a second takes care of the adjournments.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't, I hope you said I wasn't trying to. Oh, that's. Still up to